Yo, Ryan, let's film the intro. Come on.
Alright, I'm coming.
We only need turkey baster now.
Oh, God.
Welcome. Don't Breathe was released in 2016, and I've already done an intro for this if you've seen my regular review. So, I would suggest watching that first, but I wanted to do a spoiler review with my friend Austin Michael.
Hey.
So, that's what we're going to be doing, but in case you didn't watch that, it was directed by Fede Alvarez, and it stars Jane Levy, and it's about 3 people who break into a blind old man's house, and he is not the old man that they think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this back when it actually came out in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't enjoy it as much as watching it the second time. I don't know why. I don't know if because we were like talking about it as we went through the movie, but I did enjoy it more the second time.
Yeah, I had a lot more fun watching it. I feel like I wouldn't have enjoyed it watching it by myself.
Yeah.
It was definitely one to watch with people, and it's not a bad movie. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
it's really enjoyable.
yeah.
You just have to like suspend your disbelief, you know?
Yeah.
To like you really have to suspend it. Like with the floors and everything.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's one of the things I said last night, and I actually tested it when we got home last night.
Oh, you tested it?
Yeah. Like they're in this old rickety house and walking around, and I think the floorboards creak once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
I was
twice.
like, okay,
At
twice.
the end once.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you're right when the alarm finishes going off.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how is our house is pretty new, and I can take 2 steps and wake up our son, you know? Like, it's crazy. It's like that part you really have to, just ignore.
Yeah, and I think that is my biggest issue with this movie. It's little things like that added up as the movie went on.
Yeah.
They were really asking you, like, you've got to accept this if you want to like our movie.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
by, like, the middle to the 3rd act, it gets too much. There's too much that happened. It's like, no, I can't accept this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, even in a silent room, like, even just moving, like, you'd be able to hear just your clothes moving, you know? Just from moving your body, even if you're not stepping on rickety wood, you know? Like, you make so much noise, and for a deaf person, like...
The senses are heightened.
The senses are heightened, especially, like, I feel like he would have smelled them more easily. He would have felt, like, the breeze of them going by, or heard them, of course, like...
Yeah, and the main girl, we saw her smoke a lot of weed in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then throughout it, it's like, this is in here because we want her to be a character that smokes weed. Instead of making it like, oh, he could smell her. He could smell it.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, exactly. They really didn't... They didn't develop that any further than just like, she's someone who smokes weed.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was little things like that throughout the movie that I know they tried. Like, taking their shoes off. That makes sense because, you know, when you're in shoes, the sound's going to be a lot louder.
Right.
So I like that they did that. But at the same time, none of the floorboards creaked, and they were walking like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then that one shot where the guy, I forget his name.
The blind man? Or...
No, the clay from...
Alex? Oh, yeah. Alex, yeah.
Alex. He, like, the blind guy's coming down the hallway, and he just, like, goes like that, and the blind guy walks right by him. Like, I'm sorry. And
then they go in the bathroom, and the blind guy is like this close to him as he's on the floor and doesn't feel him.
Exactly.
I was like literally doing that. I felt you right here, and none of that. Like, this was the worst yet best blind man that we have ever met. It was like he chose to be blind in specific moments.
Exactly. So I feel like you really do have to just forget about that if you want to actually like enjoy the movie. You know, you have to forget that this wouldn't actually happen like this. Like, I feel like he would have killed them so much faster.
Oh,
just because he would have heard them. or smelled them, or felt the breeze of them going by, or whatever.
And it wasn't like they were trained professional, like, we just saw them do, like, little petty crimes, and, like, although they did burglarize one house, they were literally, like, the one dude came on the floor.
Yeah.
It left evidence that he was there at the crime scene.
Yeah, he's kind of stupid.
Like, there was little things like that throughout this movie where it was just, you have to accept this.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, I can't accept anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even with that, I did enjoy the movie.
We're ragging on it for those reasons, but it was a very enjoyable movie to watch. And
other than those things that you have to just kind of forget about, like, it was a good movie.
Yeah, there's not much bad about it besides that. I mean, the acting is pretty good. Jane Levy as Rocky, she is the best actress in this movie. The blind man, played by Stephen Lang, he was very good.
He was good.
A very believable performance.
Yes, I agree.
But Dylan Minnette as Alex,
I just don't like him. Yeah, I don't like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's not the best. I would say that this is the best I've seen him in things I've seen him in. But, like, is that saying much?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of his.
And Money was my guy.
I did like him. I feel like he was a good actor, you know?
Yeah. It felt like he was more of a caricature, though, at times, which stunk, but it didn't seem like it was his fault. It felt like that was the direction they wanted his character to be. Yeah. So that's what he was doing.
And he was the first to die.
Yeah. So. Very sad. I was so sad when Money died.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. You're like, Money's the most expendable out of everyone.
Yeah. And had the least character development
up
to the point where he died.
And the deaths are very guessable. You can always guess when a death is coming and who's gonna die.
Yeah, I think the whole movie overall was pretty predictable. Like, most things you saw coming, you know, like with the fact that he kidnapped the girl and impregnated her, like, you saw that coming. And other things, like, we all, like, we would say, oh, this is gonna happen, and then, like, 5 minutes later it happens, you know?
There's a part where we find out that the blind man kidnapped the woman who killed his daughter. And it was in a car accident, like, it wasn't on purpose or anything. And I was like, oh, he 100% tapped. And it turns out, he did it, but he did.
Yeah, because he didn't want to be a rapist.
Yeah, he said, I'm not a rapist, but yet he took a turkey baster.
Yeah.
And put it in her, filled with stuff. Which, that was also, like, he stored it.
Yeah.
Like, it...
Yeah, I also question, like, how would he have had the knowledge to know how to store it properly and then restore it from being frozen? You know, like,
he's a military vet. He's not like a scientist in the movie.
Exactly. Like
he was the semen expert in this movie.
Yeah.
Because he just knew. He was like, I gotta boil it at this exact temperature.
Yeah.
Like, and also a disgusting shot after, like, when he's walking up to her explaining and, like,
and it dripped.
Yeah. Nasty shot.
But it was well done. The effects were good. You know, we are kind of, like, ragging on it a bit, but I mean, overall, it was good and enjoyable. You know, like, the effects were good. I did like the camera work.
Yes.
And, like, the dark shots, even though they were really dark, were still good. You know.
That was the first time I've seen a movie try to do something like that.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. And I like how you saw the actors' eyes automatically become bigger. Because you could tell, like, they were switching to, like, the darkness.
Yeah.
And I liked through that scene, which I wish they explored more, how the old man knew where everything was. Like, he hit the fan,
it was cool.
The wall.
He, like, had these, like, checkpoints almost.
Exactly.
Where he, like, could locate where he actually was.
Yeah, I wish they showed that more throughout the movie, because it was so interesting to see that. I was like, this is really smart. Like, this really shows how kind of scary he is, and, like, how good of a villain he is.
Yeah.
But there are parts of it where, although they had that, it didn't make sense. And I thought about this later on. So do you know at the end, after, when Alex handcuffs him to the contraption, or Rocky, whichever one.
Yeah.
And then he somehow gets around and then kills Alex at the front door.
Yep.
He broke the lock. How did he get out? Because he couldn't have gone behind... Oh, wait, was he behind him, or was he... I forgot. Was he outside, or was he in the house?
I don't think... No, he was in the house.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought, for some reason, I thought he was outside. I was like, there's no way he could have possibly gotten outside.
No, I think he went up the ladder and
Yeah,
then,
he was in the house.
shot them from the living room.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, how did... I guess they were jangling the keys. You could hear that.
Yeah.
He had very selective hearing when he was going to get them. That was the
like
thing.
sometimes his hearing was on point.
Yeah.
Like there's this one part where Alex was hiding, and like he's like silent, and the old man is just listening, and then Alex takes a breath. He's just like,
yeah, and then you see him,
and he's like, yeah, exactly, and then he goes and like he knows exactly where he is at that moment. But I mean, other than those things, I feel like the plot was good. The acting overall was good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think there need to be more attention to detail was the biggest issue.
Yeah.
With inconsistencies like that, you need to make sure that you are trying your best to stay within a realm of realism when you're presenting a movie that stays in that realism.
Agreed.
So when you have something that's unrealistic, as an audience member, you feel like, okay, like I could look past that. Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Yeah. It was just too much.
Yeah.
But then, also, I have to ask the question, like, if I were doing this, how would I...
Yeah, how would it be
what
different?
would I even do to... Like, what could the director have even done about the squeaky floorboards or whatever?
Yeah.
Because then the old man would have just... He would have just always known where they were, and it would have been over.
Yeah, but and also they say, this is an old house. This was made a long time ago. This is an old house. And the floor only squeaked twice.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's very hard to, like, do something like that, and I love the concept of it. I think it's very clever.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do, but you can't just be like, oh, he's gonna have selective hearing.
Yeah.
After he can hear a breath.
That was my biggest problem with the movie.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue, because like we've been saying, other than that, acting is pretty good. The effects are very good. Blood, I was very happy with it. There's not much issue to be had. I think the soundtrack was okay.
Yeah.
It's just really the realism and the inconsistencies of it.
Yeah, I would agree. Other than that, I did enjoy the movie. Especially the second time. This is my second time seeing it. I did enjoy it. I don't know if it was because we were able to talk through it.
I just kept on saying really bad things.
Yeah.
that I can't repeat because I'll get demonetized. Yeah. But yeah, I had fun with it. But what would you give this movie?
I would say 7.25.
All right. I'm going to say that I didn't give a rating for it in the regular review, but I'm going to give this movie a 7.
Okay.
I think it deserves a 7. A lot of it is very good. It's just the inconsistencies.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching this review, and be on the lookout for the next review, which will be together again. We're going to be doing a spoiler review of the movie Evil Dead, the remake.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Fede Alvarez, who did this, so... It's weird, because we had, horror that's not in English, we were doing
we had the foreign, we were doing a lot of foreign.
And now we're on, Fede Alvarez.
Yeah.
So, be on the lookout for that. But, let's flash forward to the next review.